Looking ahead now, here are some of the stories we'll be following today. President Reagan defends his budget proposals before a convention of county officials from across the country. Farmers continue their rallies in Washington with a march on the Agriculture Department and the White House. Italian Prime Minister Craxi begins a 4-day visit to the United States. Vice President George Bush arrives in the Sudan, where he begins a 5-day visit to Africa. King Hassan II of Morocco celebrates the 24th anniversary of his ascension to the throne. And Princess Diana joins her husband tonight at the London premiere of the film 2010. Now, moving up on 34 after the hour, here's Bryant.
2010?
2010, that's
oh, okay.
right.
I figure we had that.
I didn't think it sounded right.
Yeah, that's all right. Thanks, John.
You didn't either, I guess.
No, I can't read numbers. Willard has a check of the weather in just a moment, and then Dr. Spock is back, and he's got Dr. Michael Rothenberg with him after this.
Will be just about normal in most cases. The big story again, I mentioned earlier, heavy snow blowing and drifting, 40-mile-an-hour winds. Gale warnings are flying along the Great Lakes area. Some gale flags are flying along the New England coast as well. We have some small craft advisories back here in the western states, Northern California to the Oregon-Washington coast. Snow in the Cascades, another storm system moving in, snow in the Sierra Nevada range as well. And the fact that severe thunderstorms are possible along this line down throughout the middle Mississippi Valley. Along with that, ice in northern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, northwestern New York State, and fog, dense fog, all the way from northern Florida back through the central part of the state. That should lift later. Here.
Temperature 38 degrees, 34 at O'Hare Field. Windy, rain and thunderstorms with the local flooding today, high near 50. Tomorrow, cloudy, windy, much colder with snow showers in the upper 20s.
One or two quickies. I know. John Wesley Graves, I'll bet he's a Methodist. John Wesley Graves of Ellisville, Mississippi, is 103 years old today. And Sally Barrett Champlain of Lakeview, Oregon, is 100 years old today. And I had another beautiful one here that I think I lost. I won't be able to do them all. We're just late. Sorry, but the weather is horrible in the upper plains and Midwest. No two ways about it. It's a mess. 8:38, and now here's Jane.
Thank you, Willard. The earliest of the baby boomers will turn 40 pretty soon, and so does the book by which most of them were raised, Dr. Spock's Baby and Child Care.
Two legions of the film's fans, Gone with the Wind remains the standard by which other movies are measured. Now, for the first time, that film is becoming available on video cassette. So all this week, we're going to feature what many feel is the greatest movie ever made, beginning with this report by our man in Hollywood, Jim Brown.
The one and only Rhett Butler, Mr. Clark Gable. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am here just as a spectator. I want to see Gone with the Wind the same as you.
It's been nearly half a century since Gone with the Wind premiered on movie screens back in 1939. A half century since the characters from Margaret Mitchell's Story of the Old South came alive in the work of film producer David O. Selznick.
Scarlett, kiss me. Kiss me once.
Gone with the Wind was first seen on television during America's bicentennial year, 1976. And its audience of 77 million TV viewers was a record at the time. During a handful of subsequent TV runs, one can imagine many a home video recorder turning.
You should be kissed and often, and by someone who knows how.
Well, I suppose you think you're the proper person.
That might be.
You're a conceited, black-hearted, vomit-wet one, and I don't know why I let you come and see me.
But now MGM UA is releasing an official home video 2 cassette version of this landmark movie, which will retail at $89.95. Duplication work is being performed at Video Recorders of America. That's a Chicago firm. And the print of the film that is being duplicated was taken from a never-used negative discovered in the MGM storage vaults in Kansas. With an improved soundtrack and a mint negative, it's as close to the original as possible. Or is it?
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Well, fortunately, Tom Shales did, because the television critic of the Washington Post, while screening his preview copy of the video version, discovered a major error. Scored behind the prologue and immediately following the opening credits, music composer Max Steiner had placed a dreamy, nostalgic treatment of the song Dixie. But when Shales got his video copy, this is what he heard.
And that music was written for an international version of the film. And in that version, there is no prologue about ladies fair and cavaliers. It's a very prosaic prologue about how the Civil War came about, because this was explaining it to foreign audiences. So they didn't need Max to go dreamy on them. They needed something, you know, to make people sit up and take notice, I guess. It's totally inappropriate.
What had happened was that because of a labeling error, 29,000 cassettes had to be destroyed and replaced with the correct track at a cost of $70,000. This is the old David O. Selznick studio in Culver City, California. It has a new name now, but not much has really changed since the late 1930s. Behind that facade, offices. Beyond that, sound stages. And beyond that, the 40-acre back lot where Selznick built his version of Atlanta and Scarlett's home, Tara. In 1959, Selznick presided over the dismantling of Tara's crumbling remains, but its proposed reconstruction in the real Atlanta has never taken place. And as late as 1971, even after the studio and back lot passed into other hands, you could still see the remains of Atlanta, where Gable and Lee acted out the screen's best-known melodrama.
Look at them, all these poor tragic people. The South sinking to its knees. It'll never rise again.
And then the most identifiable artifact from the back lot, next to Tara, the train station. And there, in that open area, just to the right of the station arches, one of the most famous scenes in the movie took place. Now, even Selznick's old back lot is gone. It has become an industrial park. It has disappeared into Hollywood history, as have most of the cast and crew of Gone with the Wind. So what was once the most anticipated movie of all time is now just something for everyone's home video library. For today, Jim Brown, NBC News, Culver City, California.
Tomorrow morning, as we continue our series, we'll talk with one of the two surviving cast members of Gone with the Wind, Olivia de Havilland. Right now, a station break.
Wednesday, Robert Blake is back as a different kind of priest who'll do anything to clean up Helltown.
And together, we'll give them heck.
Helltown, Wednesday.
We'll never forget the winter of 78-79. 89 inches of snow, a record in Chicago. For tomorrow's weather, stay with Channel 5.
The Broadway smash musical 9, now at the Candlelight Dinner Playhouse. The most beautiful musical of the year, Christensen Tribune. Call 496-3000.
Been a good Monday? Yes, no?
Absolutely.
For a Monday.
Look forward to a Tuesday.
That's true. Gene Kelly will be here, Dr. Spock, Olivia de Havilland. We hope you'll join us for this day. Thanks very much for being with us. Enjoy your day.
Have you ever wondered what television comedy in the future will be like? To find out, watch Michael Nesmith's Television Parts Thursday right after Cheers.
Watch Love Connection with host Chuck Woolery.
You had to borrow a car to go on the date.
And find out what really happened on the great dates in history.
Weekdays at 3 on Channel 5.